What's up, everybody? Welcome to a quick little round table about Deadpool 2. Spoiler-free, reactions only, not really a review per se. I'm sure it'll come up in Nerd Rage later on this week with a spoilerific Deadpool kind of review. People often ask, where are the spoiler reviews? The spoiler reviews are on Nerd Rage Radio. So look up Nerd Rage Radio and you'll find all the spoiler stuff. So we're going to do it like we always do, which is to say the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm joined by Chris Pinkerton from Crashbox Customs.
If you're nasty.
And Realm of Collectors. And his son, Frosted Flakes.
What's up, everybody?
Who's barely of legal age to be here, I might add. Let's start with the good.
The majority of the action sequences were pretty good. There were a couple moments where I think they overdid it just a tad. And the majority of the jokes were good as well.
Good for me would be, man, I'm gonna say Domino.
because of her
acting
build,
her acting chops. I like the Cable role in the movie. That's no surprise. And I enjoyed the portrayal that comic book actor of the year Josh Brolin did with that.
That part is true. He is comic book actor of the year. I like two things, and both of them are spoilery, so I can't get into it too much. They show a representation of Deadpool that you're probably familiar with, and they have kind of a clever way to do it. And I dug that. There is a twist as to one of the supporting villains, and it was nice to see him represented in a more faithful way. Who that villain is and what role he plays, I'll leave it up to you to see the film, but he has been shown in other media and not as well or faithful or intimidating as he kind of came across here. It was a much more true to form kind of thing. And like honestly, like some of the jokes are cool. You know, I want Deadpool to be a jokey movie. I want it to be funny. But I'll get into the joke situation in my bad. But let's hear your bad.
Without getting into spoilers, I can't really, go into detail about it. So does anyone else have anything?
I would say there's a plot device that is part of the movie that the trailers definitely don't let you into, and I think it really drags the whole thing out. I don't think it serves a purpose.
Involving the love story?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think it serves a purpose for the main story.
I have a lot of bad. Most of the jokes are retellings of the same exact jokes they told you in the first one. Like it was like a 10-trick pony, and we saw the same 10 tricks again. I don't like Domino's representation of the character at all. She doesn't feel like Domino to me. I don't like Cable's representation. I feel like he is a cosplayer. It doesn't feel like Cable is on the screen to me. It feels like Josh Brolin is wearing a Cable suit. Like, I never bought it. Not for a second. I also was really intrigued by the idea of forming X-Force, and they kind of do it, but not in the way that you would expect for them to do it, having been turned on to the promotional marketing media for the film. X-Force is still kind of formed, but not in the same way you would think. And I didn't really care for that. One of the opening action sequences takes up a lot of screen time, but then it ties into what Chris is saying. It doesn't really need to be there for the heart and meat of the movie. This kid that you follow, if we were gonna pick a mutant kid to be the catalyst for a big problem for this film, I don't know why we chose this. I feel like a lot of the representations of characters are off. Deadpool even jokes about it at parts, like when he says, this is different from the comics, Cable is short now, he's 5'11", which I'll have you know isn't that short. It's a very average height.
Hey, speak for yourself.
One of the ways, I mean, obviously it's a movie, the good guys win, the bad guys lose, it's what happens. With the exception of Infinity War and maybe Empire Strikes Back and maybe Two Towers. But there is a scene where one of the villains is dispatched that it just totally went too far for me. Like it fell into the pocket of goofy and stupid and not a fair representation of either character involved in the dispatching of that villain. That took me down a notch. I had it at a low score to begin with, but that's what put me over the edge to say I'm not really into this at all. Like it kind of seems like we have some of the characters that we have from the first one there just to be there. Grandma and the bartender guy, like they don't really need to be in this movie, but they're still there. It's just, I don't know, it just doesn't feel as tight as the first one. It feels sloppy to me. What about ugly?
There's this one part at like the very, very end of the movie that just went on for so long that they could have made so much shorter, and the joke still would have been funny at that point. But
I agree. There is a good joke there.
Yeah.
But they drug it out a bit too much.
Yeah.
Some of the casting decisions didn't pan out, I don't think, the way maybe they were expecting or we were expecting.
There is a number of twists that
Yeah.
you don't see coming. I think of all of them, though, I had to be honest, the only one that I enjoyed was the supporting villain.
Yeah.
My ugly is a lot of the CGI is weak. Yeah. They do really well with Deadpool CGI and Cable CGI. All that stuff looks pretty flawless. Like when he's jumping in and out of cars and all that kind of stuff, or flying through the air, it all looks great. But there's a car chase sequence that really goes out of control and starts to look very Grand Theft Auto-y to me. And then there's a fight at the end that involves some CGI characters that goes a little bit too far for me also, where it starts feeling like, you're watching somebody play Injustice or Mortal Kombat than watching a film. Real quick, out of 10, what do you give it, Mason?
6.4.
It's very specific. I'm gonna give it a 7.5 because it is very entertaining.
It is
I think
entertaining.
It's got a lot of replay value, and to me that is important in a movie.
I do agree that it is entertaining. It did keep my interest. I'm giving it a 4 out of 10. I think it's really bad. I also think that people are going to love it, but I think it's a really bad movie. Definitely the worst movie I've seen this year. Do you recommend that people see it in the theater?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I do not. Save your money. Get it on Netflix or Redbox. I think you can have... Like, I enjoy the theater experience. I always make it a big deal to go see all the comic book movies and big sci-fi movies and stuff. It's important to me. But if going to the movies is not important to you, but you would go to see a spectacle, I say don't go. You'll have just as much fun watching it at home with popcorn and some loved ones, or a loved one, or a plant if you have no one. You lonely, lonely nerd. You'll have just as much fun watching it at home as you will at the cinema, as it were. But yeah, I'm sure that people will love it. I just think it's really, really, really stupid. It's trash. So I'm sorry. But it is entertaining. It is entertaining in the same way that a circus is entertaining. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time.